From the Lloyd Noble Center in Norman, you're watching the SEC on ESPN, and it's back to business following a brief holiday break as the 12th-ranked Oklahoma Sooners try to close out non-conference play unbeaten by hosting the Prairie View A&M Panthers, who are playing their 12th road game this season and their 4th against a team from a power.
Also drives to contact, Chad. Excellent at getting to the line. They will need him to have a big game to be able to hang around with Oklahoma, who's had a great season so far.
Our officials are Doug Schaus, Bart Lennox, and Sean Seals, who tossed up the midcourt jump circle ball. Sooners get the first touch of it. Ground on their feet here at the Lloyd Noble Center. This is Jeremiah Fears, SEC Freshman of the Week this week. More on that shortly. Late shot clock situation. 5 to get one away for Jalen Moore. One-on-one down the baseline for 2.
Yeah, and that's the progression of Jalen Moore. Became a better three-point shooter a year ago. Now putting it on the deck and keeping those defenses honest.
Lineup for Prairie View A&M. Again, no Nick Anderson and his 19 points per game. Marcel Bryant's an Omaha transfer. And John Paul Ricks, son of a coach, has been a welcome addition, helping solidify the point guard spot. This is Jordan Tillman. The late shot clock situation now for the Panthers. Marcel Bryant into that mid-post for Elijah Terry, who shovels one up. No, the tip is good, though, by Marcel Bryant.
Well, they really...
Sam Godwin and Kobe Elvis rounding out the lineup of 5 for Porter Moser and the Sooners today. 2-2, an Oklahoma turnover there. They have done a good job, for the most part, limiting turnovers this season. Stepping into a 3 is Petway, and that's down for a 5-2 Panthers lead.
Yeah, with that three-point line.
For the year, Petway shooting nearly 40% from downtown. High post pass kick out for Miles, and he drains the first Sooner 3 to tie it at 5. How about this little... Going to get it into the high post. Shot clock is down to 8. Marcel Bryant trying to go to work against Moore. Tough fall away. And the rebound to Jeremiah Fears. When he rebounds, he's a one-player fast break. As he gets himself to the rim all the way, that's going to be a goaltend as the ball hit the backboard.
Play some size and some toughness, and when they get Anderson and others healthy, they'll have a chance to be in the upper part of the SWAC conference.
2 to shoot here for Bryant. Found just enough space to get that shot down.
Well, you can see why they like him. He's got really good hands and a soft touch. Can play that 4-5 and give them a little versatility offensively.
And there's Fears with back-to-back buckets for the Sooners. Just so smooth.
You really have to play through some mistakes, which typically are turnovers with him. But you can live with a couple of turnovers because he's going to make multiple plays to cancel those out throughout the ball game.
That was a friendly bounce there for Marcel Bryant. Byron Smith
offensively and help Petway out there.
5 to shoot now as Elvis tries to get free from Elijah Terry. Fears, foul line jumper, and fouled. Just enough height. He is a true 6'3", 6'4", and that's an advantage in a situation like the guy that plays up the road at Paycom Center, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. An excellent start, 7 points in the early going. Glenn Taylor Jr. is out at the front of that Sooner trap now, and Bryson Gadian is also in for Porter Moser Sooners. Braylon Bush has entered the lineup, as has Tanaj Petaway, who's entered the paint to score.
And that's why you like him right there. We talked about his ability to shoot the 3. Very easily could have taken that and settled, but drives it instead.
There's Kobe Elvis up and over the top of the shot blocker Bryant.
This compliment lightly, as you will know, Chad, they can all shoot it, like legitimately make the three-point shot. A lot of guys these days can shoot them. Not enough of them will make them.
That's right. Nice fall away, drained by Jordan.
This year, Chad, so far, he's taken what I would consider very good one-on-one containment defenders and able to get an angle, almost at will.
Glenn Taylor Jr. going to head to the foul line, posting up on Zakir Sawyer. This is a
for them. He and Jalen Moore kind of can trigger that, because
game-winning shot against Michigan. That's a game that Porter Moser said they would. This is Bush and Tillman out the guard spot. Tillman couldn't get one off over Luke Northweather. He turned it over. And here's Fears attacking, sprinting across the lane to bank it home.
Just how smooth is that? I mean, it didn't look like he had any space right there, and then all of a sudden he's free.
That 3 down by Jordan Tillman. His 13th made 3 of the year.
Yeah, to me, Tillman, that's a good sign as well for the Panthers. He is that kind of third potential score that can help fill the void of not having Anderson here today.
Northweather giving Elvis the screen and rolling to the rim for the easy lay-in. Harvey Grant had three guys that played about, I don't know, 40 years combined in the NBA.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah. Look at Miles, a little off balance.
Needed to. They've been attacking the paint. Got it inside to the bigs.
Play on a regular basis, shooting 35% or better from three-point.
Had made a bunch the last 3 games, but also like we've talked about this whole Oklahoma team. They don't take bad threes. Boom.
What were you saying about Godine?
Yeah,
man.
Well, you and I talked about it before the tip. It's kind of felt.
And to shoot here for the Panthers out of the timeout. They would love to get a good look here. Who will it come from? Petway kind of trapped, near travel, and a bucket and a foul. That worked out for Elijah Terry. Game of the year for him.
Sit down and keep in front and not relax. He may score anyway.
He might.
But that's going to give you the best chance to keep him in front.
Great offense can beat good defense. Jalen Moore misses, but Bryson Godine soars in to tap that one back up and in.
Strength. He's becoming more than just a straight line driver. He's able to put it on the deck and change directions a little bit now.
Miles is fouled on the three-point try by Jordan Tillman. And so Duke Miles will shoot 3.
That's a.
So Duke Miles, we talked about the 29 turnover ratio.
Obviously, your high point is was certainly there, and as we talked about, that won't be the last time he has, Chad, one of those 23, 20.
There's Braylon Bush. Can't get free, and under 5 to shoot now. Tillman clears some space, launches, but no. There's a steal, though, by Terry. Plucked to the outlet pass, the dump down to Petway, who lays it in. Situation for Nick Anderson, and they do expect him back rather quickly as the Panthers are set to jump into the heart of SWAC play. Miles trying to spin into the mid-post, and he's raked across the arm by Tanaka.
And their 2 best scorers, how do you get those numbers? That's the formula.
And the Sooners are the #1 free throw shooting team in the SEC for the year.
Blow anybody out of the water. It's kind of a gradual thing, but what happens is you have the good combination of getting downhill and the three-point shots like we're talking about, and then they don't turn it over.
They do not. That's a tough runner that banks home for Jordan Tillman. The Southern Indiana, Florida A&M transfer. He had 24 points in their game at UCLA. He made 6 of 7 threes in Pauley Pavilion, Brendan. That's the big stage.
Well, that's why with Anderson being out today.
And the front end of 1-and-1. Bouncer's Jinx comes into play.
Man, that is not a thing.
Not a thing? Okay.
I knew you were going to bring that up. I did that well before he went to them.
That's true. Yeah. Nice backdoor cut by Petway to get an easy lane for teammates in the SEC opener on January the 4th. Tillman, tough fall away 3 that's off the mark. Rebound, though, goes to Terry, and he'll go to the foul line.
Well, Terry's really given some good.
But it said they have 8 grad students.
5, Chad, as you well know. But you throw Anderson in this mix, they're
Horton trapped in traffic, somehow got the ball free for Petway. Glenn Taylor Jr. with a good rugged rebound as he collides with Sawyer, and Sawyer will pick up the personal. Glenn Taylor Jr. will be at the foul line for Oklahoma in a double. Rams are now looking at him. That is the state of collegiate basketball.
Firing before the game, and as we've seen him several times over the years, and talked about Anderson.
And under 3 to play in the first half. Panthers hanging around in this one within 8. Finding a seam, Petway crashes into Godwin. Wow. Circus act high off the glass and in. Petway's got 11. Fears has had a good first half. He's got 9. Duke Miles has 10 for the Sooners. But a turnover there. Back the other way is Petway. Charging into the front court. Bryant hits it. And it's a 4-point game. Porter Moser taking a Sooner timeout with 2.
At half, and second half, they just shot it so poorly. 25%. We're 0 of 7 from 3. That's difficult to survive on the road.
Boy, that will fix a lot of ills if Duke Miles is going to hit 25-footers as he did there. That stops a 7.5-minute field goal drought. Stops it with an exclamation point. Here comes Jalen Moore, who's back in for the Sooners. Moore double teamed and foul. Caught with his hand in the cookie jar. Was Prairie 3-point range this year. Nearly 50% is Duke. Great year so far. The MVP in Oklahoma's win at the battle. Minute 20 of this opening half. And Jeremiah Fears back out there. That was tapped into the backcourt by Horton. He's hanging all over Fears. Can't get free and hanging a little too close. As Doug Shaw's whistle.
Handles. And then he's so good at doesn't have to think of it at all, handling the ball in any way, shape, or form. And because he's so great, then he can just use his other abilities just to go make plays. Oklahoma has not done it, even though they've extended this lead. They haven't got him in much space as they were early in the ball game.
Well, it was a 4-point game, but Oklahoma has a 7-0 run in a minute's time. And to the rim again goes Petway. He leads everybody with 13.
I tell you what, he has definitely stepped up in the absence of Nick Anderson today.
Game clock is running here. Oklahoma tried to roll it to midcourt, not let time run off the clock, but it is running. Now the shot clock isn't, and they've got about 2 seconds difference. Here's just looking up at that shot clock, which says 15. Calls out to Kobe Elvis on the far side of the floor. Moore off the dribble. Tough spinning shot, fouled, and 2 free throws with 3 seconds left in the half, and that's 2 on Bryant.
I mean, what good does that do? I mean, you ruined what was really good.
Makes this free throw to put a little pressure on the inbound passer. Braylon Bush speeds across midcourt and got a decent look at it. Helps to have that kind of jet on your back if you want to get one away at the buzzer.
He has a better half.
4 different Panthers have at least 2 fouls, including Sawyer, who has 3. So we'll just keep an eye on that. Fears steals and runs the other way for the Sooners. There's Jalen Moore, going to make a difference early with the left hand gliding to the window.
Yeah, really smooth right there. All that hard work to become a more productive and balanced offensive player.
Porter Moser big on the phrase mind right, game right. And that's something we've heard Jalen Moore repeat often so far this season. That turnaround is buried by Marcel Bryant. Moore against Bryant. Double team arrives. 10 to shoot now for Kobe Elvis. Godwin fed on the baseline and fouled. Elijah Terry will be whistled for that one.
Only played 7 minutes that first half. And I will tell you, Chad, you know, against Oklahoma State offensively, but where that began was his activity on the glass, which is his MO, the best part of his game. 28 rebounds the last 3 games coming in, because the previous 5 he only had 13. I mean, that's just not him. And when he is right and he's available and can give you his minutes, you know he's going to be active at both ends on the glass.
Tough post move there, Ricks.
Yeah, much better ball handlers out front for Byron Smith this year. Big emphasis in the portal. We'll get some guys in there that can handle it.
The blow by bucket for Petway, who continues his run. He's got 15. He'll try women 1 hour after this game is done. But Petway, a guy that Byron Smith said today. Petway splits a double team. Fears rebounds the air ball. Duke Miles attacking to the rim. Reverse in. And Duke Miles continues another good game. He's got 15.
Yeah, and no, not at this level.
But you're right.
Yeah, but I would say his 15. But the reason is his ability to get to the line.
Goodness, Jordan Tillman, high degree of difficulty, but off the mark. He overcomplicated that one a bit. Taylor Jr. and a foul. So Glenn Taylor Jr. with foul trouble from the bigs. He's in effect playing the front court. Over 100 collegiate games prior to coming to Oklahoma. He was at St. John's last year, Oregon State 2 years prior to that. Glenn Taylor Jr. Very good piece coming off the bench this season for Porter Moser and the Sooners. Largest lead has been 13, and that's going to change right now on that one from John Paul Ricks. Bucket and a foul. Foul is on coach Louisiana with his dad as coach. Byron Smith said if all players were like against Fears after the initial 5 minutes until now, that's going to be a goaltend on Elijah Terry, and Fears has 13 points now.
Just needs some space. I mean, if you can get him a little so well. Did a great job right there hitting that seam.
Oklahoma lead back to 11. Lob up top and laid in by Marcel Bryant.
Great recognition right there. Good communication. Making eye contact right there for the Panthers. I tell you, Bryant has excellent hands. Pretty good footwork too.
He's got 14 points today as well. Jalen Moore up over the top of everyone to convert.
Taylor and Moore in there essentially at the 4 and 5. I mean, you really have 5 guards out there.
And Fears cashes in, just leaning over the top of the defense. Man down. Horton finds a seam but can't convert. And Jalen Moore lost it at midcourt. Sawyer the other way. Here's Terry galloping to the bucket and in. Been the case most of the day. Just trying to get it into the hands of Petway if they can. Actually getting him a little breather right now, and it won't matter. Braylon Bush knocks down his Gadine's corner 3 is no good. Fears tips it up, keeps it alive, and Glenn Taylor Jr. rebounds it. There's Moore held. Count the basket and a foul for Jalen Moore. It's been his half so far.
Hey, a little off subject, but would you tell me what the Thunder do?
So he commits the foul. That's his 3rd. Miles backs down Ricks. Nice little jump hook over the left shoulder.
Yeah, Ricks did about everything that he can do. That's just a size and strength advantage that Miles had on him down low.
Miles now has 17 in this game. He leads all scorers, coming off the 29 1 week ago today against Central Arkansas. There's Bush approaching the bonus foul situation. Jalen Moore, little ball fake, and glides right around the defender for 2 more.
I mean, that's just rip and attack. And the beauty of it, now at this point in his career, Chad, he can do it either way. We've seen him go left more tonight than he's gone right.
That's 15 for Jalen Moore, and there's another blow by Prairie. Can't drop down to 3. And Bush out of the pack for the Panthers the other way. Look at Bush. That's 3 straight possessions where he's gotten to the rim. That's going to be a goaltending call. You may have a look at this, but it certainly looked like the ball was on the rim when it was touched by the.
Good call. They can go look at it though. The next media timeout.
They reviewed one that Jeremiah Fears got a goaltend call to his advantage and said it was a goaltend. This time he says, I don't need to worry about a goaltend.
And that time Terry's in his mind is that I am not going to foul this guy as he's coming right at me again. Thanks a lot, fellas. Put me in that spot again.
17 for Fears, and there's a lane for Petway, and all of a sudden it's a layup competition.
Again, you know, Coach Moser will not like this because it's a little deja vu from the first half. Just too many easy drives for both teams.
And it happened multiple times in Atlantis. They were down in that big game against Michigan. They've always come back. Godwin partially blocked, and a foul call here against Marcel Bryant.
Finished because of the foul. But when Bryant came over, he went away punch. And do you think they're going to take some punches in the SEC?
Well, Porter Moser was talking about conference play, and he said, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but if you just look at Oklahoma's schedule, they would have 16 conference games that are quad 1 games. Game against the top 75 team.
Yeah.
That's what you're facing in the SEC this year.
Well, that'll probably lessen slightly just because of the beating up of one another. But, I mean, it doesn't change at all.
Does not.
The point. Every game, you have a chance for a great win.
Of course, Auburn just one loss. That was to Duke. And what Johnny Broome has done for them. And Oklahoma right out of the gate will get Alabama.
Well, we've talked about it a lot and compared it to how the Big 12, why it has been so good all these years. It starts with the coaches in the SEC. I mean, it is a great
this year. They're so good here.
If they just playing sound defensively. This Oklahoma team is built for those games. And assuming the big thing to me is how well will they be defensively? How good can they be defensively late in games?
Squeezing off the three. Petway knocks it down. And Prairie View A&M back with an 11 after that three this game. That leads all scorers. 5.5 to go. Jalen Moore. Double team. Splits it. Miles the tip. Godwin a tip, and that one falls.
Yeah, there he is right there. I mean, that is Sam Godwin right there.
And then Fears steals the inbound pass, and he'll earn another trip to the free throw line. And he is so good at hesitating and getting you to foul him.
You know, you watch him create. Worked on this, but it also has to be some natural ability of when to create.
Smith happy that the guy who has helped solidify the ball handling duties for this team is okay as he hops back up onto the floor. Taylor Jr. attacks and scores.
Well, that's nice offense, and you're going to eventually end up with a good look.
Lead is 17 for the Sooners. That was a tough one by Tillman. Tillman gets it back on the strip and scores. So that's 11.
Grind. Game grind.
Braylon Bush fouled by Jalen Moore on his way to the bucket. Braylon Bush, he's on his fourth school. McNeese State, Navarro Jr.
So Byron Smith felt like they were getting a much better shooter than what was shown. Good shooters or players, you get one or two to go, then I mean you're back on track immediately.
Fears floats it into Godwin. Jalen Moore lines up a three, and that's kind of the second half for him.
Starts knocking down the three at a 40% clip, and then this year he's added the ability to put it on the deck and get to the foul line.
Jalen Moore up high to grab that rebound. He's got 20 points and 6 rebounds. Does Moore. And who would have?
I mean, they have played some good people in every game for a great win. Just kind of survive the non-conference. They've done that and more.
Oklahoma going to start 13-0 for the first time since 1987-88 when Billy Tubbs' Sooners went to the Final Four. Godwin will go back to the free throw line. The minute 35 left.
Today, Chad, than what I thought. Much further along. Just a soft back, even more so.
Godwin.
Positives, they finally get to go home and play again.
And stay for a bit.
Yeah.
Under a minute left. Elvis lines up a three. That one's good. So Kobe Elvis squares and drops home his first triple of the day. Saw the OU women, some of them right there. They're going to take the floor in about an hour, take on New Mexico State. Oklahoma is one of 3 schools nationally with both the men's and women's teams ranked in the top 15. 10 to shoot here for the Panthers. Tillman tries a fall away three. Dayton Forsythe the rebound. The shot clock is off, and Oklahoma closing in now on 13-0. They'll be one of 3 SEC teams to go through non-conference play unbeaten. They're pointed toward their January 4th SEC opener at Alabama as the next thing up on the schedule. They have taken on all comers to this point, and they close out a 22-point win over Prairie View A&M. Porter Moser and Byron Smith exchange handshakes, and Oklahoma is 13-0 for the first time since 1987-88.